Hi, I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is a bonus video. So I asked on Instagram and they really couldn't make up their mind on what they wanted me to do. The options that I gave Instagram were a try a chapter challenge or a read like it's my job. So read like it's my job is winning as of me starting. And also I think it will work the best with what I have going on right now. So for this vlog, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I'm going to read for 8 hours. It's going to probably be between today and tomorrow. Today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. The video is going up on Sunday, okay? So far for the month, I've only read commitment reads. It took me like a couple weeks to really get into reading. Now I'm in it and I want to like keep momentum going. I also kind of want to get caught up on my Goodreads reading goal. So right now I think I'm 5 books behind, maybe not. But anyways, so I have like several novellas that I want to read to just keep the momentum up. That's what I'm feeling right now. Okay, all right. I've got 2 more commitment reads, but I'm almost done with this one. So according to this, I have 7 minutes left in the book, even though I'm 76% through. So I'm not sure which one's right. That is Yours, which is the Kingstown novella number 3 by Shon. This one I have to read for the Brazenlee Shadee podcast, hosted by Tama and Sharonda. And we're recording that on Wednesday. I have no idea when it's going up. But we're recording that on Wednesday. So I have to have it read by Wednesday, but I have to have Rock Check read by next Saturday. So if I could go into next week only having to read Rock Check, since it's like 400 pages and reading has been slow for the last month, that would be great. So I'm gonna finish Yours. This one is so freaking cute. So it's Black Love. The second book in the series isn't, which we're gonna get to that, but it's Black Love. But he joins a book club just to get to see her. And she's like really shy and quiet and she has a little bit of a stutter. And he just worships the ground she walks on. And I love it. I love it so much. So then speaking of the second book in the series, this one I DNF'd with life stuff back at the beginning of August, and I kind of want to finish it. I kind of do. So I'm thinking about finishing Midnight, which that one is Friends to Lovers. She's like kept him at friend length for a year, and then he basically announces that she's off limits. She's not her hoeing days are done. He's done weighing. She's gonna, if she wants her needs met, she's gonna get it from him. That one's interracial. I'm going to read 8 hours, and you know, I've got a family. I can't read for 8 hours straight unless it's like a special day. And today's not that day. But I also kind of want to see how fast I can read these. I kind of do. I am a pretty fast reader. I'm not the fastest that you've ever met. I'm above average. I am someone though, I was watching Steph's video. In fact, her video reading like it's my job is what kind of made me be like, oh, maybe I'll do that this week. She was talking about how she doesn't read every word on page. And my mom and my sister are like that too. They will like skim description paragraphs and things like that. Not me. Not me. I read them all. If I start skimming, that is like the death toll of the book. That is not a good sign. That's a very bad sign. That means I am not happy and I don't want to do this anymore. So I do read everything. If I'm like speed reading to try and find something in particular, I don't have to do that. But for my reading enjoyment, that is like how I read naturally. So anyways, do I think I can beat Steph? No, I don't. No, I don't. But I do kind of just want to see how much I can read if I put my mind to it, because I know how much I can read, you know, like I know how much I can read, but yeah, we're gonna see. Also, I want to show you my book stacks. So from the library, I have Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. It's YA, so I haven't been super interested in it, but I have heard nothing but good things. Also YA, Their Vicious Games by Joelle Wellington. This is like a horror Hunger Games rich prep school type fight to be the wife type thing. Heard amazing things about this one. don't know if it will be too scary, creepy horror for me. I want to reread Throne of Glass up and through Queen of Shadows, and I want to reread the Cruel Prince trilogy so I can read Stolen Heir. This is bigger than that. So I want to reread those. I want to read these. Probably won't get to them on this library I took out, but I was taking my kids and I wanted books. And then this is my owned TBR stack. These would all be rereads. And then to actually read, I Fear the Flames and Office Hours. So, you know, reading needs to happen.
So I immediately started this vlog doing something that wasn't reading, surprising no one. I was supervising one of my children reading their library book, and I was doing my planner and stuff for this video and the video that I just posted, and then I needed to get the pages set up for all my February videos because it's time to start on those notes and all the prep for that filming. And you know, you can see my February plans here, subject to change as always. I do kind of want to try and squeeze in a blackathon vlog if I can, so we'll see. And I might drop the NetGalley one that I've mentioned in so many videos. But this is me doing the reading journal for yours. It ended up being 5 stars. I really loved this one. I just really liked their dynamic. I liked the way that he was gentle with her, but also assertive, and, you know, was like, look, I am so interested in you. I think that you are the most amazing person I've ever met, and anyone who has told you otherwise was completely out of their mind. Like, I loved their dynamic. They were nasty. They were doing stuff in public and up against walls and just all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it was really cute. I loved the book club setup. I just liked everything about this one, honestly. I honestly need to go back in and add a little bit more because she had migraines and he was taking care of her. And I don't think I marked that. This is the, you know, flaw in having to do multiple books at one time in the reading journal. You really want to do them as you read them. But for the purposes of this video, I didn't really get to that. But usually I would never read this many books in a row without having filled out my reading journal. But yeah, so she had migraines and I liked that representation. And of course I love a good caretaking scene. So again, I loved this one. If you want to know more about my thoughts on the book, and, you know, get to hear Tama and Sharonda's thoughts too, we're going to do that podcast. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a wonderful time. I really enjoy both of them as people and their content. And yeah, I'm just really excited that they asked me. And of course, it's linked in the description, so it'll be easy for you guys to find. But yeah, I actually plan on listening to a couple of their discussion episodes this week. So they do like different topics, and then they also do ones that are about specific books. And you all know how much I love me a good discussion on anything. I'm like, ooh. One thing that I've noticed after, you know, doing the first edit, finishing the project, is I have never really done reading based on time before. It's always just, you know, me trying to finish this book that I'm reading or reading a couple books. It's never been based on how much I'm reading in a day or in a week or any of those things. So that was, I think, maybe the weirdest part of the experiment for me, is that I just have never done reading like this because I've never kept track of how much time I'm spending on it. It's never mattered how much time I'm spending on it. You know, it's just, do I have time to read right now, or do I need to be doing something else, or do I want to be doing something else? But I'm confused about why it was so weird, I guess. So after yours, I read Midnight, which is the book I DNF'd, and honestly should have stayed a DNF. I won't lie to you. It was 3 stars. She was so annoying because why was she running from this man? There was no legitimate reason for it. And yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. I did not have the best time. Like, I don't even know how long it took me. Not that long. But I was like, oh yeah, no, this is why friends to lovers, and I don't know, like, I just get so annoyed when they're throwing up problems and like hurdles and walls for no legitimate reason. I feel like if I get their reason, then I can tolerate it a lot more. But if I'm like, that's a weird reason, like, what are you doing? It's pointless. Then I don't really enjoy the angst of it all, because I'm like, you just need to stop. You need to stop. I do think that one of the hardest parts for me to remember if I'm doing multiple books in my reading journal is which kinks were in which books, and like the sex scenes that were represented and how much I enjoyed it. It all starts to blend together pretty quickly. So then I sadly had another 3-star. A 3-star is not like the worst rating. It's fine, but it's not really a recommendation. It's not one that I loved. It's, I read that. We're done here. And this was Christina C. Jones' second vampire book. I don't know if her paranormal's not for me. I don't know if her paranormal as short novellas is not for me. I don't know, but there's just something not quite working. And it's not terrible. Again, like, I still recommend the series if you just want black vampire novellas. Like, read it. But I don't know. There's just, I don't know. There's like, their dynamic is weird a little bit. She didn't know that paranormals existed, even though she is a paranormal. She like hadn't come into her power. And he was very much show, don't tell. And let me tell you how much that would annoy me. I would be ready to stab this man. Because what do you mean you're going to like scare me into manifesting and not tell me anything? I don't think so. In a very strange turn of events, I had no 4 stars in this vlog, which I feel like is my most common rating, but it just didn't show up at all. And then here's me instructing my husband on how to take B-roll of me reading with my girl. There was parts where I was actually reading, but I kept this part in. And, you know, I just sat on the couch with my girl and my man. My boys were in the man cave where they spend most of their relaxing time. But, you know, I had chocolate covered coffee beans, which if you've never had, you should try for sure. And I also had a Midwest classic, the cheese ball, which, like many a good Midwest recipe, has cream cheese and ranch. It's a staple of the genre. What do you want from me? Then I had my first DNF of the year, so pretty impressive. The fact that I've read very few books, I'm sure, has nothing to do with that. But this was The Librarian. It was not good. It was Jessica Cain-esque, which if you've ever read Jessica Cain, you understand exactly what I'm saying. You immediately know the tone and just the vibe and all of the things. But he was in his 30s. He was the librarian lusting after the popular college student. He was like, why would she ever choose me? I am a nerdy librarian with lumberjack style and probably a 6-pack and a massive dick and all of the things. Like, why would she want me? And also, I don't know, the weird obsession, the absolute obsession that having your dick hard just because she asked you for a book. Like, I don't know. There's a reason why I stopped reading Jessica Cain, and honestly, I had just had my fill of it. Once upon a time, I enjoyed it. That time has come and gone. I'm not really into it anymore. So, you know, that was the DNF. But now we're moving on to another 5-star, which was a delight. In the Care of Magic by Robin Jo Margaret. This is the only book out by this author. I'm honestly so disappointed because I immediately want to read more. I followed them on Instagram. I am ready. This was so good. It's not really a romance. It is cozy fantasy erotica. It does end in kind of a happy for now, but they are both a little bit aromantic. So that's not really a thing that they are looking for. So we have a fat pansexual witch, and then we have a non-binary, gender fluid, however you want to, categorize it, demon who can change their body parts, etc. at will, but doesn't in the book because the witch is like, this is how you came to me. I'm not going to ask you to change. I don't care what body parts you have, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the demon uses neo-pronouns, which I feel like, hang me up a little bit, and I completely blame that just on the lack of familiarity. It's because, I don't read it that often. I've never heard it used in real life. So it stands out as unusual to me, but I was still able to, really enjoy the book and enjoy the flow of the book, I guess is what I'm trying to say, despite the pronouns standing out to me. And again, I just know that's because I'm not used to it. And I think that getting used to it by reading it more frequently is a great option. So, you might be like, that's going to bother me, but I would really encourage you to give it the time, give yourself the books to get familiar with it so it literally no longer stands out to you. That's, that's my speech, I guess. But they were so cute and sweet, and he is a sex demon, so is a sex worker, and he is really, tired of being used, but he can't exist if he doesn't have sex. And I really loved the care, the explicit consent, just the representation of so much on these pages. It was exceptional. And like I said, I immediately want to read more by this author, and there's nothing there. And I just want it. I want it so badly because this was so good. Then I read Her Wild Roommate by Adele Knight. This was a recommendation from Bree and Lemon Words, who I adore, and she, just said it was a great novella, like one of the best she's read in a minute. So they're roommates, they've been lifelong friends, and her boyfriend is cheating on her and stuff, but before she finds that out, she tries to spice up their sex life and does it in the living room, and the roommate sees, and that's the end of pretending to just be friends. I don't like friends to lovers, and I loved this one. It was a great combination of sweet, knowing everything about each other, and sexual attraction. So that was a win. And this was another 5 stars. So that makes 3 in this vlog, which I am incredibly happy about. So that was 5 novellas plus a DNF, and definitely feeling about done at this point. But I did read some of Rock Chick. It's the next morning. Just me and my girl and my dogs are up, and I have about 4 hours of reading left. And my deadline is kind of by 4, but kind of before that. We're going to go to my parents' house and watch playoff football and some time with them. I would kind of like to have at least one edit of this vlog done, but if it's gonna go up tomorrow. So I'm kind of freaking out. Even though that's like 9 hours away. I have to put 4 hours of reading into it. Anyways, that was my first sip of coffee. I'm tired. I was up a little bit too late last night on TikTok. Honestly, a lot of it was waiting for my daughter to go to sleep, who was up way past her bedtime. Yeah, I'm tired. Whose idea was this? I want to question. 4 hours was a lot for me.
Thing about me and reading is if I am in a book, I don't want to do anything but read that book. Read for 9 hours? Okay. That's what we're doing. If we have any choice in the matter, we're reading that book. But just read a bunch of books in one day? Probably not gonna do that. So I think I'm a little sick of the novellas. They served their purpose. I got what I needed to get, and now we're on a break. So I'm gonna read something a little bit longer. Hey Lover by T.L. White, I guess is like 200 pages, which I feel like might be a good jump. I did read 30 minutes of Rock Chick last night, but I'm not really feeling like continuing that for like the rest of it. But Hey Lover would be like exactly 4 hours, basically. Maybe a little less. Maybe a little more. It's hard to say, but 4 hours. And I really want to read T.L. White. I do. The only reason I haven't is she's not on Kindle Unlimited, and she's not at my library, and any and all of those books basically have to be an automatic no. Like, I am unlikely to say yes to any of them. Yes is the exception. The rule is no. But she's been like on my radar for a couple of years, and I've been like constantly thinking about reading like this one specific book of hers, which is not this one, it's this one. It's $3.99. Yes, that is enough of a thing for me to spend 2 years thinking about reading the book. The thing that I'm worried about is that second chance. And I don't really like second chance romance all that much. So we'll see. Now that I've given you this long, rambly, tired, sounds probably terrible update, I'm going to go read and drink coffee and snuggle with my girl.
One thing that I really noticed keeping track of all the time is apparently I stop reading books when there's like less than 10 or 20 minutes left in the book all the time. I'm like, oh, let me go do something else. I had no idea. So then I realized that my crushed red pepper expired in 2020. And when I tell you, this shook me to my core because I have dragged my mom to no end and back for having expired spices, but apparently I'm not exempt. And also we're really into the trailers right now.
All right. It is 3:33 Saturday afternoon. I need to go with my parents in like 20 minutes. I wanted to update my reading journal for like this video. I have read 6 hours and 37 minutes. Remember how I was like, I have 4 hours left, I have 9 hours to do it in? I did like 2.5 hours worth of reading in those 9 hours. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should read like it's my part-time job. Because I don't know. So here's what I'm thinking. I do think that I can finish another hour and 23 minutes worth of reading tonight. I'm thinking I'm not reading another short book or anything like that. Like, I won't finish the next thing that I read. So I'll probably either continue Rock Chick on the Kindle or probably start one of my library books that I showed you. But yeah, you know what this is making me realize, honestly, in a lot of different ways, is that the only reason I've been able to read over 6 hours in the last 2 days is because I've been like intentionally trying to, and it hasn't been like that easy. It hasn't been that easy, which is weird to me because like I can never, I guess, get past that postpartum stage where I was reading 2 or 3 books a day and was just like reading such an unhealthy amount for so long, that the idea that it's a struggle to read 8 hours between 2 different calendar days when my children are so much more self-sustaining now is weird to me. But it's because I'm not reading all day every day. If I don't feel like reading, I'm not going to read just for the video. You know, I wanted to watch the trailers with my husband. I wanted to watch, you know, some of my booktubers new videos and some of my YouTubers new videos. And I've been trying to read like a lot of the time, but you know, I cooked breakfast because it's Saturday. I cooked lunch. I hung out with my husband. I am interrupted by children a lot, and I want to be kind to them and talk to them and answer them and make eye contact and not like act like it is a inconvenience or an interruption that they are trying to speak to their own mother in their own home. You know, like that's important to me that I don't make them feel that way. And I'm very okay with being like, hey, you guys need to leave me alone right now. I'm doing something. But, you know, I'm not going to do that for reading for 8 hours like it's my job video. I'm not. Oh no. It's harder, I think, to hit these numbers than I thought it would be for me. I think it's part of it's because I was tired last night and I honestly just didn't want to keep reading. And I think part of what I was saying at the beginning was if I am going to read a lot of it is going to start early in the morning or go late into the night. I don't have a problem reading in the middle of the day or taking a day and being like, I'm not going to accomplish very much today. I'm going to read today. I think that's a healthy balance of things, right? But a lot of times if I am going to read like a new release on, you know, release day and stuff, I'm going to start that literally the second I open my eyes. And I'm, you know, going to take care of the kids. I'm going to do breakfast and get them to school and all those things. And, you know, all the many responsibilities that if you are the one running your household and if you are the one being like the primary parent for children because your partner is not home because he's at work full time, you know, there's never ending tasks for that. Of course I am going to have to do some of those tasks, but I'm okay, you know, taking a day off laundry, taking a day where everybody's eating sandwiches. You know, just I'm not tackling anything. It's literally just what do we have to do to be able to have smooth sailing for today, and today can be an easy sailing day. You know, that type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't think that like any of these are interesting to you. It's honestly just like a interesting thing in my own mind that's like, I guess I'm just in such a different place than I was postpartum, and I know that, and I don't want to cry because I'll cry about it, but my daughter's almost 6. That was 6 years ago, but for 2 of those years, up until starting booktube basically, I was just reading so much, and it was because I wasn't okay. I've mentioned this many times, and the thing is, you can read so much more than me and be fine. Right? It doesn't have to be a sign of things are not well. Ignore my tangled hair. It like is really tangled. I need to brush it. I don't want to though. Just like, sounds so annoying. Anyways, my hair is not your issue right now. But yeah, I guess I am just really in such a different mental space that for me, I'm not there anymore where I would easily read 8 hours a day or 12 or 14 hours a day. You know, I'm just not there anymore, and that's good. That's good for me. So anyways, I've wasted too much time talking to you about this, but I don't know, this has been an experiment that I've wanted to do for forever. You know, people replacing their screen time, or, you know, trying to read 40 hours in a week, and you know, those didn't really appeal to me, although I liked the idea on an intellectual level. I didn't want to have to execute them. But when Shay at Shay Geeks Out first did this, you know, one day reading like it's my job, 8 hours at her desk and everything, I was like, oh, that seems doable. That seems much more doable. And again, I've still tweaked it. Tweak ideas to fit your filming schedule, to fit your lifestyle, your reading habits, all of those things. I'm really happy that I've done it, and I just feel like for me, it's been a very interesting experiment. Like, I didn't really know what the results would be. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to read another hour and 20 minutes at some point today, even if that is, at bedtime. So that's the plan, Stan. All right, so sadly, Hey Lover by Tia White was another 3-star for me. The writing was good, everything was good, but like I said, it is second chance, and I don't like that trope, and I didn't like when the second chance was second chancing. I wasn't a fan. So basically, he just walked out on her because his dad had cancer and he was struggling financially and everything. And she's like an heiress. She's now the CEO of the company that her father started. He didn't want to weigh her down. And his dad is actually recovered, so if you don't want the mention of a parent going through cancer treatment, obviously skip for that, but his dad is okay. And so it's been 7 years, and they're in their 30s now. She's had like a long fake boyfriend, basically. Like, they'd hook up, but she was never serious about him in any way. And she has made CEO, and he sends her flowers. And she also finds her boyfriend cheating on her. And so they are back in each other's lives. It ended up being a really cool premise. He is a Black game writer, like video game creator. Why can I not think of the words that I want? But he makes games, and he has made one that is, or maybe a couple. I think he's working on the second one. Wasn't like super clear on what game was out and what game wasn't, but the games that he makes have Black characters, and they have AAVE and Black culture and stuff. And, he's really making it for people to enjoy, and he doesn't want to sell it to like Xbox or Microsoft or anything like that. He wants to maintain control over it, much like indie authors do, so that their work doesn't get watered down and made appealable to the masses when they want to niche it down and be really specific about their target audience, right? So all of that was really cool, but they're fighting, and her like deciding to step in and fix all of his problems when that was a big part of their initial like relationship issues. I didn't like the third act breakup or anything. Hello. This is why I do not brush my hair very often, because now it's just a frizzy flyaway mess. So if you have suggestions for that, because the things I've tried so far are not working. All right, so I'm about to lay in bed and read either Feybound, Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute, or, well, I'm kind of leaning towards the reread of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. But since I'm gonna lay down and read, I wanted to show you my Cruel Prince bookmarks, which I'm sure you've probably seen this one on my wall before. And also Kiss Me Until I'm Sick of It. And I have a feeling that this reread, right? This reread situation that I'm getting myself into, that like I'll want to do it. I have a feeling I'm going to be buying a Cruel Prince quote shirt very soon. That's where I feel like we're going with this. I really, really do, because I just kind of love them. I know they're not for everybody, but I love them. I love them, Your Honor. So yeah. We'll see. I've got 30 minutes left of reading. So I read an hour of Rock Chick during the football game. And I'm tired. It's not my bedtime, but I'm tired.
So my initial thoughts on the Cruel Prince reread is I remember why I was sucked into it the first time. I love the setup, the premise. I love the court politics and intrigue and backstabbing, as well as the romantic parts. My first thought on Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute is that I love that he is bisexual and they're rivals and I love them. My first thoughts on Faebound is I like that she's already in a romantic relationship with another woman, but I'm not hooked yet.
All right, it's 10 o'clock at night. I read one chapter of Faebound, one chapter of Highly Suspicious, and the prologue and 2 chapters of The Cruel Prince. So I'm currently 1 book ahead of my reading goal. I have started 4 books, including Rock Chick, which I'm 16% into because it's long. And I read, I don't know how many. I'm tired. I'm not cut out for labor. Will I do this again? No. Nope, probably not. However, I accomplished several goals, actually. I wanted to get started on NetGalley, and I wanted to get started on Rock Chick because the live show is Saturday when you're watching tomorrow, hopefully. It's so long, so I don't think the editing's gonna go smoothly. And then I read some library books. We're doomed. I'm so tired. A couple physical library books. I got ahead of my reading goal, and I believe I raised my diversity rate to 50% of the books that I've read this year, even if you count all the Alona Andrews as separate, which I feel like you have to because I did them separately on Goodreads. But so I've got my diversity rate up to 50%, which is what I want it to be, and I'm no longer behind on my reading goal. Which, you know, I'll just lower the reading goal if needed, but I knew that I could pretty easily catch up, so here we are. Yeah, I'm tired, and that's it. I really hope this is not a ridiculously long vlog like I'm afraid it is. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.